Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for the weekend of June 6th, 7th, and 8th, 2014. I am Astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, this is the last weekend of my big gratitude sale. Check out my website, inclusiveiastrology.com. Put in the promo code GRATITUDE and you get 15% off of all my products and a personal reading with me. And this is a weekend where we have a Mercury Retrograde coming, and there's a lot of transits I want to talk about that make things a little bit complicated. First off, let's start into Friday first as we're coming into the weekend. This is the last day of Mercury going forward. Well, not really. Mercury's coming to its dead stop stationary position on Friday. So it's almost like we're freezing things in time. The moon's going to be at the end of Virgo, which kind of makes things kind of float by, and in Virgo, maybe we're still getting our stuff together. You know, this is a great day for organizing things, great day for us kind of stepping out of our heads if we can try to and do something with our head. So actually it's good for intellect, but doing something with it instead of standing in thought. This is actually doing something with thought. So this could be a day where you get things done, make things happen, and I think Friday is actually a wonderful day. But I definitely think as we start to come into Saturday, where Mercury comes retrograde in Cancer on Saturday morning, and this is when the universe takes a freeze shot. And what is this freeze of? Well, the moon will be in Libra coming in over Mars. So this is definitely a Mercury retrograde for the next week of us rethinking our emotions about the actions we take, the momentum where we're going in our life, relationships, the relationships we have and what directions we're taking. This even goes deeper into looking at this Mars square Pluto as commitments towards action, achievements. Are we going to step into certain aspects? And there's a lot of energy that's really starting to get pressurized here with Mars and Pluto, of this intensity of some dynamic forces that we want to take place in our life. Yet how interesting to see Mercury retrograde in Cancer, that there's a lot of feelings we've got to understand. And there's an energy of rooting I've been talking about, this rooting of gratitude that we've been talking about. Are we opening up our feelings? Are we opening up to positive aspects too? And I think that it's so important this weekend to really start to look at and contemplate and question. We are in Gemini, right? So even though there's a lot of things happening and some people don't like Mercury retrogrades, to have a Mercury retrograde happen while the sun's in Gemini definitely makes this one very apparent, as there's a shift in energy. And this weekend we come into a lot of shifts, because the moon comes into Libra, wants to weigh things out. It's going to trine over to the sun in Gemini, and there's a lot of this intellectual energy going, and a lot of weighing out, a lot around our actions, a lot around what commitments are we going to make, around if we're going to step into this unique self, what is it that we want? The sun is still coming off a sextile off Uranus, so there's this epiphany central coming of, oh, we can do this, we can do that, we can make this happen, we need to change this, we need to change that, I feel differently about this. So this weekend could totally, like your whole life could just switch over. And all these new changes coming, all these big epiphanies happen, all these new things come out. Deeper than that, we're going to have the sun square Chiron on Sunday, all while the sun makes a weird quincunx over to Saturn. We face this weekend, as we're switching directions, as we're really contemplating our feelings, as we're looking at the actions in our life, there's a lot of questions off what our truth really is. And if we dedicate to this truth, if we step into it, no matter how hard sometimes it might be, we in essence can heal ourselves. But we can't question those things if the universe is pulling us in a certain direction, because I guarantee you the universe is pulling you in a direction that maybe doesn't make all the logical sense to you, and maybe even in your ego it might upset you. One thing about Chiron and Pisces is it's teaching you to go with the flow, come from compassion. And this is also Neptune, which goes retrograde on Monday. So when it comes to this foggy space in our life that we've been having issues with, and this weird energy of stalling, there's a reason, because it's trying to direct you in a certain direction. We need to face that this weekend, and we need to start to have our minds understand that it's all about getting to our truth and sticking in that truth and staying in that truth. Venus is also going to come off of a nice trine this weekend of Pluto. So in many ways by Sunday, as we face, you know what, maybe there's a wound, maybe it's difficult to go with the flow, maybe there's an aspect of you that's felt sluggish, or it's just felt like lost. We face that and we start to find and understand why it's been a little bit difficult, why it's been a little bit, all over the place and a little confusing. And we face it this weekend and we understand that no matter what, we're getting to our truth. No matter what, we have the epiphanies and what we want in our life. That we do have to switch things up. That we do have emotions that we have to start to figure out. So Venus trining Pluto in many ways could give a whole reboot, as it could come to this Sunday where it's like, all right, I'm starting in this direction now. And it's okay, whatever happened is under the bridge. And that might sound crazy, but this Pluto energy brings death. This Pluto energy brings concrete kind of energy to manifesting, and it brings kind of a new beginning, all while we're facing off many things this weekend, all as we're ready to review the things in our life. And after we're coming off this moon in Virgo and reorganizing things, I think this can be an excellent weekend to reshift your life into trying to find some sort of clarity. Although most people are going to think that it's really confusing with Mercury retrograde, I definitely think that this gives you a different perspective now of how you really feel. Seven of Cups reversed. There's been a lot of things that we've had to look at. This weekend starts to narrow down what it is that you can focus on in your life. I'm so happy I pulled this card. This definitely signals that this weekend is about, and this Mercury retrograde is about getting down to the specifics. We have been trying to see through this fog. It has been intense. We are trying to push forward. We are trying to take action in our life. It's not been easy. The energy that's coming in now is having us face wounds, having us face where the universe is pulling us, have us dig into that truth, have us have the epiphanies, have us get back on track, have us have the pressure to start to make some sort of intense actions in our life. And it starts to really build this weekend, and it comes into next week where we got a full moon that we're getting ready for. We've got a Neptune going retrograde. We've got a lot of energy switching. Mercury going to come back into Gemini. I guarantee you things are opening up. Don't let this Mercury retrograde or any site think that this is the end of the world. This is finally going to give you the redirection in your life that you need to figure out what it is you truly want and want to connect with. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com, for my big sale. It ends on Sunday night. Check it out. Enter the promo code GRATITUDE. And thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for watching me and going through these horoscopes with me, as these are interesting times, confusing times, but more importantly, empowering times indeed. Thank you so much, and I will see you on Monday.